Hello, today is Monday. It is February the 25th. I've been a little absent, and I apologize for that. Today's reading is from Ruth chapter 2. Ruth is just the most wonderful book with such great values in it. It's a story of people living faithfully and generously with each other, caring for each other in terrific ways. Also, though, the book of Ruth has commentary in it on pretty much any discussion we would have nowadays that might involve some of our political structures. And particularly today, what I noticed was the application of the story around the idea of immigration reform. The verse that I picked in chapter 2, I think is verse 10, and it says, "Then she bowed down, face to the ground, and replied to him, 'How is it that I found favor in your eyes, that you notice me? I'm an immigrant.'" Most of the time when we have discussions in our country about various aspects, especially those that involve what we believe to be the use of resources or the use of our money or our opportunities, we are very self-focused in how we argue about those. And I think that's partially how our system is supposed to work. Everyone is supposed to argue their own self-focus. However, in a country like ours, it's very difficult to run well if we only care about ourselves and don't negotiate for people down the road. Now, I feel this chapter may have some things to say about our discussion as a country in this area, because after all, Ruth was not a Hebrew, but here she was being welcomed. She was not a person of power of any sort. She came to this country, or to the Israel country, from Moab and had no standing. She was apparently a threat, I would say, to Hebrew women. If you notice, and as you read the story, you'll see that she was very attractively portrayed and showed to be industrious and faithful, and someone who knew her job and did it well. So perhaps this idea of the faithful, caring immigrant who comes in to care for Naomi and is able to make a huge impact on Boaz, one of the Hebrew men in the area, and it happens to be a relative of Naomi. Perhaps there is something in here we need to look at, think about, and consider. And then there's this other thing that the Bible is full of, but doesn't always enter our thinking when we're in discussions on political things, and that is the value of the other person in God's eyes. See, Jesus came just because we had value, not because we had value in God's eyes. And he didn't come out of self-focus. He came out of other focus, care for us. And then he turned it around and he said, if I'm going to be the servant of others, you should be too. Even taking it so far as to say, who wants to save his life will lose it, but who wants to lose his life will save it. So perhaps this book of Ruth has something to say to us about things that are going on in our current political discussions, including immigration reform. Take a look. See what you think. Have a great week.